Breaking news that's coming in right now. Sidhu to surrender shortly in a 3-decade-old road rage case that returns to haunt Sidhu. Sidhu is likely to be put in Patiala Central Jail. That's the latest information that's coming in right now. Navjot Singh Sidhu is likely to surrender in a short while from now. He is likely to be put in Patiala Central Jail. My colleague Lalit Sharma is now joining me live from Punjab. Lalit, give us more details about Navjot Singh Sidhu's anticipated surrender in the 1988 road rage case.
Yeah, absolutely, Paulami. If we just talk about right now, Navjot Singh Sidhu, in the yesterday's pronouncement in the 34-year-old road rage case, it's been a setback to Navjot Singh Sidhu, and now, as per our sources, now Navjot Singh Sidhu is going to surrender in the Patiala District Court very shortly. But before that, if we talk about, these are the visuals outside Navjot Singh Sidhu's residence, and since morning you can see a lot of movement here. Not only media persons but former loyalists of Navjot Singh Sidhu could be seen here meeting him. And right now what we are also learning from our sources that Navjot Singh Sidhu has left with just one legal option, that is a curative plea, which he might use today. He might have filed today in the Supreme Court. But definitely, if we talk about, it's a big setback, with big blow to Navjot Singh Sidhu in the 34-year-old road rage case. And very shortly now, Navjot Singh Sidhu would going to surrender in the Patiala District Court as per the pronouncement from the Supreme Court after the review petition which was being filed by the complainant, in which now he has been slammed with 1 year rigorous imprisonment. Yes, Paulmi.
That's right. So he has been slammed, in fact, with a 1-year rigorous imprisonment by the Supreme Court, which reviewed its own decision of another bench from 2018 and thought that the fine, only a 1,000 rupees fine, which was imposed at the time on Navjot Singh Sidhu, was in fact hurting the sentiments of the victim, indifferent towards the victim and the kin's sentiments. Also, Lalit, if you can tell us a little bit about, we're also hearing that Sidhu is likely to challenge this order from the Supreme Court. Is there any veracity to that, and what is going to be his next course of action?
Definitely, Paulmi. See, if we just talk about from the legal experts, what we have talked now, the only option which now, right now, Navjot Singh Sidhu has been left with is the curative petition. And if the curative petition is being listened from the Supreme Court, then only he might get some sort of relief. But in the rarest of the rarest case seen in the past, never a curative plea has been listened by the Supreme Court. And as per, if the curative petition is being listened there, so the Chief Justice of India, with the two judges who have reviewed the earlier judgment, would be going to sit and listen to that. But before that, if we talk about in this whole case now, in the 34-year-old road rage case, it's a big blow for Navjot Singh Sidhu, as now he has been slammed, he has been found guilty, and he has been slammed with 1 year of rigorous imprisonment. So looking into this, after the pronouncement now, Navjot Singh Sidhu has left with no much option, and very soon, as per our sources right now, what we are learning, that Navjot Singh Sidhu is going to surrender in the Patiala District Court. So these are the visuals outside Navjot Singh Sidhu's residence. A lot of movement could be seen here. Former loyalists of Navjot Singh Sidhu, while the relatives of Navjot Singh Sidhu could be seen meeting Navjot Singh Sidhu right now. Yes, Paulmi.
Okay. Lalit, thank you so much for bringing us those details. We'll, of course, keep coming back to you. So, Lalit Sharma, they're reporting from outside Navjot Singh Sidhu's residence in Patiala, where his loyalists and his relatives have started making a beeline ahead of Sidhu surrendering before the Patiala District Court. Now, former Punjab Congress Committee Chief Navjot Singh Sidhu is likely to surrender before the Patiala Court shortly. According to sources, the Supreme Court orders will first be received by the Punjab and Haryana High Court, from where the same will be forwarded to the District and Sessions Court, Patiala. Sidhu will either be asked to accompany the corpse or will be given an option to surrender. Senior police officials said a police team will continue to follow Sidhu even if he opts to surrender. Immediately after his arrest, Sidhu will be taken to a local hospital for medical examination examination. Meanwhile, the cops will intimate the jail authorities to make arrangements for lodging Sidhu. Sidhu has already hinted that he will surrender. Navjot Singh Sidhu seems to have chosen Patiala jail, which is considered safer and cleaner as compared to other jails. Sources said Sidhu and his family members are consulting their advocates for future course of action. The road rage case now dates back to 1988 when Sidhu got into an argument with a Patiala resident over a parking spot. Sidhu allegedly dragged him out of his car and hit him. The man later died.
A few months ago, Navjot Singh Sidhu was in the race to be Punjab Chief Minister. But today, the former State Congress chief is headed to prison in a 34-year-old road rage case. The Supreme Court has sentenced Sidhu to 1-year jail term under the charge of voluntarily causing hurt. The court rejected the review plea by the victim's family to add the charge of culpable homicide not amounting to murder. The court in its order said, a disproportionately light punishment humiliates and frustrates the victim of crime. The court added that indifference to the rights of a victim of a crime is eroding the faith of the society in general. Sidhu, reacting to this sentence, has said he will submit to the majesty of the law. The former cricketer's lawyer thought the review plea was a rare incident.
The turbulence, a quietus has been given by the Supreme Court. This is a matter which is rather old. In fact, review petitions themselves were not activated for many months, almost under a year. I am so happy that ultimately the Supreme Court has given a quietus.
The family, meanwhile, has decided to welcome the court's verdict.
He has to go to jail, he has to surrender and go to jail. To answer आपके एक सवाल का जवाब, क्या उनके पास लीगल रेमेडी है? वो एक क्यूरेटिव पिटीशन है. वो क्यूरेटिव डाल सकते हैं जी कि जो 5 जजों के पास जाएगी, 3 जज सर्टिफाई करेंगे, पर वो रेमेडी is very rarely exercised.
The road rage case dates back to 1988 when Navjot Singh Sidhu got into an argument with a Patiala resident over a parking spot. Sidhu allegedly dragged him out of his car and hit him. The man later died. Sidhu was earlier let off with a fine of 1,000 rupees. Now, the maximum possible punishment under Section 323 of the Indian Penal Code has been given to Sidhu. From a humiliating defeat in Punjab elections to a conviction in the road rage case, the former cricketer's political career has hit a roadblock. For Navjot Singh Sidhu, a comeback from this point seems a tough challenge. Bureau Report, India Today.
Now, cricketer turned politician Navjot Singh Sidhu's tryst with controversy is never ending. Here's the report.
From cricketer to comedian to rebel against the captain. Join us as we track the journey of controversy's favorite child. His Sidhuisms quickly made him a global phenomenon, but his enthusiasm soon caught up with him. He was sacked from a sports network for swearing on air. In the aftermath of the Pulwama terror attack in 2019, Sidhu's bizarre decision to lock the Pakistan Army chief in a Jadoo ki Jhappi backfired badly, costing him both his TV stint as well as a huge amount of public goodwill. Running parallel to the roller coaster of his life in showbiz was a political career that saw its own dramatic swings. He joined the BJP in 2004, elected as the party's MP from Amritsar.
जो लोग हिंदुस्तान के कहते हैं वही परमात्मा की आवाज है और परमात्मा की आवाज इस बार चाहती है कि लाल किले के ऊपर झंडा नरेंद्र भाई मोदी फहराए.
In 2006, Sidhu was accused in a homicide case and sentenced to 3 years in prison, forcing him to resign from his Lok Sabha seat, only to be acquitted days later. In 2007, he was re-elected to the Lok Sabha.
महोदया, क्या सूरज को प्रमाण देने की जरूरत है कि उसमें तेज है? क्या उसका प्रकाश प्रमाण नहीं है कि उसमें तेज है?
In 2014, he went into a sulk after Arun Jaitley was made to stand from Amritsar. In 2016, just 4 months into a consolation seat in the Rajya Sabha, he quit the BJP. Attempts to join Arvind Kejriwal's AAP went nowhere, forcing him to briefly pitch out on his own. He launched a party, Awaz-e-Punjab, flanked by former hockey great and close friend Pargat Singh. But that would prove to be a placeholder before he secured himself a place in the Congress in 2017, declaring himself a born congressman. His war against Punjab Chief Minister began shortly thereafter. Bureau Report, India Today.